Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about lit HTML. And lit HTML is a templating language built by Google and is inspired by a lot of other frameworks and is something that you could use to stamp out HTML and some variables inside of the HTML and then change these variables in a very efficient way. And lit HTML is also a very small framework. It's just a little library that you can load in and use. So it goes very well with a lot of other technologies, and it's a little bit like React and other templating languages, but we're going to get into that. So let's start with a very simple example. We have here my HTML document, and I have a script tag down here. So I have my simple JS. I load it as a module, and that's important. And then I have a few div tags here, part 1, part 2, part 3, and 4. And if we look at my script here, you see that I load my lit HTML from unpackage. And unpackage is something that packages up JS scripts from GitHub. So pretty much anything that you have posted on GitHub can be used if you put in the right format on unpackaged as a CDN. So that's quite nice. And I get the HTML tag from there. So here can I use HTML in my templating, and I also get the render function so I can render out my HTML. So first off here I have my hello template, and it takes a name and it just says hello. So it's very simple template here. I type HTML first, so the different templating and extensions that you can have to your editors easily can help you out and understand what's displayed here, and also give you some extra information. And we also have this little variable structure in here where you start with the $, and then you have some angle brackets around your name. And these little construct that you have here will actually be rendered out, and then you will get a reference to that point, and your value will be put into that reference. So it's a pointer into the template, and that makes it very efficient that you just change the value. You never re-render anything. You just change the part that it actually rendered out in the document. So if we look at my render function here, I render the hello template here. I render some names, and I use my different parts. And then I have a very simple function down here, and I set different names after 2 seconds. And the reason why I use different HTML elements here, so I have different IDs, is because the actual information about the rendering will be connected to that element. So if I were to render out hello template to the same element in the page over and over again, I would just replace the data inside of that element. And here I want to have 4 different names, so therefore I render them out to different elements. So let's look at this in this running. So here I have my very simple little example, and I run it through an Express server, and I also added Course to that Express server so it could display this without getting any problems by fetching data from different sources and so on. So that's important to have that set up correctly when you are installing your little package, and that is set up in this repository, so you can download this after this little video and look at it yourself if you like. Next up, we will look at this very simple list example, and pretty much not that much have changed here. We have a list container and we have our module. So this is more interesting, the actual list part. And here I have a template. So this is a list template, some HTML. And inside of my unordered list element here, I have a repeat function. And this repeat function takes some items, it decides on some ID, and then it will send some information over. So it will send the index and an I, so that's just an iterator over this. And then inside of this I have another HTML template, and here I type my index and the actual name. And the interesting part here is the middle part here where I say ID, because if I don't specify unique IDs here, they will be overwritten. So this part here will actually define what's unique in my list. So this will be a unique identifier, and if it's not unique, it will be overridden. And up here I get HTML and render as usual, and then I also have this repeat function, and that's a separate part in a separate library, so you need to read that separately, because lit.html has in its core a very strict definition of what's important to have in the library. So this repeat has not been included because it's not used in every example. So they are trying to keep it as lean as possible. So you need to load that as well, but as it is on a CDN, it will be quite fast, and it's very small library. And you see here have an example where I actually have not unique IDs. I have 2 of ID 2 here. So this will be overridden. And then I just take my list template here and I render it out to the list container with my list example I have up here. And then the next list example 2, I have unique IDs and I render that after 2 seconds. So if we go over to our little view here and look at the list example, we will see that we first have just 2 elements, and after 2 seconds we read 3 elements. And that's because, as I said before, we don't have a unique ID, so therefore it will be overridden in the second element. So you just get 2 elements because you didn't use unique ID. So that's a good thing to know, that the second statement in your list will actually define what's unique about your list. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Next up, we have another function called until, and as usual the HTML is not that interesting. I don't have any extra elements here because I will use the body as my element. So here we have my render when done, and it's also a very small little example. You can see here that I have the extra lib of until that I add to my script here. And the important part to know about HTML lit HTML is that you can use normal functions in JavaScript. So you have the full force of JavaScript to your exposure, so you can actually do a lot of interesting things. And this until function here, it will do something until a promise is resolved. So you take until, and then you send the first parameter is a promise, and then you have what you should do until that promise is resolved. In my case, I have my HTML tag here with a spawn of loading, so it will say loading until it's actually resolved. And I have my render function down here, and I send in a large JPEG. And this large JPEG I will send into this. I will create an image object, and on that image object I will create a set a onload function, and that in turn will resolve with a new image tag that will show the image when it's actually loaded. And then I have my on arrow will reject, so that will go the other way. And then I have my image source, so I will set the image URL that I send into the source of this image object, and that will start the load process. And when it actually been loaded, so when it's done, it will render out the image tag. So this is a quite common use case where you want something that takes a while to load, and until you during the time that you're waiting for this long running process to be done, you will have something showing on the screen. So this until is a very common pattern. And if we look at it in action, I will actually go here and I will change my network preferences. So I will have a slow 3G, and if I reload this example, you will see when it's loaded, it's showing loaded, and then the image comes. And even if I'm on a local area network, it will take some time to load this image. So that's a very common and interesting pattern that you can use using lit-HTML and an extra library that is a part of this package. Last but not least, I want to show you some extra things that are more JavaScript based, but you can actually see that you can use normal JavaScript in order to render your function. So here we have a map example and a nested example in my extra little JavaScript here. And some things that you can look into if you like is that you actually can create SVG figures and show them on screen, and you actually have an SVG tag or templating function inside of lit-HTML, but that's in the lit-HTML extended part, and it's still very beta and is not ready for prime time. But it's interesting that they actually are going to that part, so you can actually render something as an SVG and actually use this templating to change this SVG. So that could be something that you could animate something interesting in the future perhaps. But if we are looking further, we have my little map example here. So I have some items, and then I have my map test here, and I just run through these items and I map them to some HTML. And you see here that I have nested the tags and added some mapping information inside of this nested. So I don't use an actual loop or any such concepts. I just map over a set of items and get some output. And next up, you can see here that I have nested some things inside of templates. First I have a title that I set to some value. I nested into a header which has some HTML templating here, and then lastly I used that template that I created earlier and put that into another template. So you can use templates in nested fashion and use them with other templates and reuse templates in other contexts and so on. So this is something that I will render out here, the full page. So if we go over to the example here, we see that we are rendering some items, and these are the mapped items we have up here. And then I have my header information and lastly some body. So that's the nested template that you saw earlier. I think lit-HTML is very interesting. There's a very good video from Polymer Summit where they are introducing lit-HTML, and it has really matured. So I think it's something that you can use today in your production if you like, and it's small, it's fast, and it's very robust. So if you have a need for a templating tooling or a templating library, then look at this. And if you have any questions about lit-HTML, please ask them below. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, and I really hope to see you in the next video.